Ring, ring. Hello, Gay for Ray.
Gay for
We're
God.
back.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is?
I'm, I'm going to get gay for God because it's
Yeah,
love. He preaches
yeah.
love. I mean, who's going to get mad at me? You cannot
Are
get
you
mad at
watching The
me.
Righteous Gemstones yet?
No, I have not got back on that horse.
There's a whole Gay for God thing in the new
Oh,
season.
is there?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
so even
great.
that's not original. Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Well, they don't say Gay for God, but there's. Have you seen any of The Righteous Gemstones?
Yeah, I
Have you
saw
seen any of it?
the first season.
Right. So you know, there's the three siblings,
Yeah.
and the youngest one um, has sort of in the first couple of seasons, he's kind of got like this closeted gay relationship with his offsider
Trainer.
Keith.
Oh, right, right,
Uh,
right, right. Yeah. Yeah.
well, by the current season, they're like in a full sort of public gay relationship, and he's running the son is running a breakaway, not breakaway, but a part of the church they're calling Prism because it's like the rainbow. So it's
Aw.
the church for all the LGBTQs where they're preaching gay and being for Jesus too. It's good. It's clever. Um, all
I'll
right,
check it out.
so this is
Yes.
episode
Yes.
216 of Renaissance. Last time
Yeah.
they discovered the Holy Lance miraculously buried under the ground in the church in
Right.
Antioch. They've decided they're going to give battle against Kerbogha's army in 5 days. St. Andrew and beautiful Jesus had appeared to Peter Bartholomew and told him that they
Yeah.
should go and give battle. Coincidentally, Bohemond had already decided to do that, which leads me to conclude that Peter Bartholomew and the whole vision and the discovery was probably part of Bohemond's plan to improve morale in the camp. You know what we need? We need a
Right.
vision. Somebody come,
Yeah.
like you,
Yeah. Yeah.
young sir. I've got a secret job for you. Come up with a vision
Yeah.
to inspire the
Yeah.
people. Um, Clever. If I'm
Yeah.
right, and let's face it,
Right.
have I ever not been right in all the years that you've known me?
I can't think of a time.
Me either.
Yeah.
So
Right. 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 Right.
he has
Yes.
decided that this is what they need to boost morale.
It
But
worked.
they weren't going to survive a blockade for very long. They knew that. He knew that. Bohemian, smart motherfucker. He knew they're not going to survive that for very long. Kerbogha's
Right.
army's there. He's going to stop food and supplies getting in. So the
Oh yeah.
only thing that they can do, now that they know they're not getting any assistance from the Emperor Alexius, is
Yeah.
they need to strike hard, strike first, take the advantage of surprise, and
Yes.
his people don't want to
Yes.
do that. Morale is low, so he needs to pump them up. Now, unlike Hitler, he didn't have any meth to give them to get them excited. So the next best
Right.
thing
But
to
he
meth
faith.
is Christian meth.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's meth, Christian meth, and then Mormon meth. I'm not sure on the numbers. You can check those for me if you want.
Well, religious fervor is the original meth. You know, the
That's
original
true. That's true.
amphetamine is religious fervor.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, Kerbogha is having his own problems, Ray. You want to talk a little bit about
Yeah.
Kerbogha's
Yeah.
problems?
Well, he's having a hard time, and not only is he having a hard time, but there's a chance because as you probably picked up on, ladies and gentlemen, Bohemian is a smart motherfucker. Yes, he's good at strategy and tactics, but he does intelligence and counterintelligence really well, and we're going to see even more examples of this. So he's got feelers out, and he might be sniffing this out. So Kerbogha is having a difficult time holding his coalition together. Ridwan of Aleppo is still not on board, and Kerbogha needs him because he's like really, really nearby. So they start talking to each other. He's like, come on, we got to work something out. We have a common enemy. We can temporarily bury our differences and work together. But as they're talking, this Dukhak of Damascus finds out about this. So he gets pissed off. And then, in fact, some of the princes who were under Kerbogha are thinking to themselves when they're talking to each other, if we do this and we win, Kerbogha might be too big to fail. He might be too big for us. He might start pushing us around with his success. So we have to be careful. And again, there's ongoing strife between the Turks and the Arabs within his army. So things aren't going well. And then Kerbogha makes the biggest mistake you can. When you're not sure of your position, you don't go hard. And so many metaphors right there. But when you're not sure of yourself, you don't go hard. He tries to go hard. He tries to lay down the law to these people, but they're nobles, they're royalty. He's just an atabeg, which is a noble or a governor, but under a royal leader. So he's basically talking up to them, and it's pissing them off. People are leaving, princes are leaving, nobles are leaving, their men are leaving. So his army is getting smaller by the day. He's got to come up with something. So again, he's just got a lot of internal strife, because it is this coalition of the willing, but it's very quickly becoming a coalition of the unwilling, because they can't stand each other. And again, maybe Bohemond knows or has an indication that something like this is going on.
Mm. Yeah, Dukak of Damascus was nervous, mostly about Biggie Smalls, because he'd heard that
Right.
Biggie had put a hit out. Oh, no, that was Tupac, not Dukak. Sorry, the other
other one.
brother.
I can see how you would make that mistake. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Dukak was worried about while he was busy, distracted by this thing, that the Egyptians might attack Syria from the south.
Yes.
Back then, Syria went all the way down and included what is Palestine. And so he was anxious to get back down to his region in case the Egyptians took advantage of this and attacked.
Yeah.
I know the Zionists out there are going to try and tell us nobody lived in that region before 1948, but that's not, in fact, true.
Hey, exactly.
So, as you say, there are frictions going on between the emirs and the Turks and the Arabs and Kerbogha's own forces. He's trying to maintain order by asserting his authority, and they're like, motherfucker, we're emirs. You don't get to tell us what to do. You're just
we're up here, you're down here. Yeah, shit doesn't go uphill. It goes downhill. Sorry.
Okay. Now, the Crusaders, as you said, good old buggerlugs had good intelligence. Bohemond had heard about Kerbogha's difficulty and reached out with an embassy, a bit like Donald Trump reaching out to China, saying, "Hey, can we talk?" And China,
right?
Kerbogha was just like, "Fuck you."
I'm here to kill you.
I'm just, oh my God. So we're recording this 25th of April, 2025. A couple of weeks ago, for the kids out there who weren't around, Donald Trump announced 145% tariffs on China and made all of these grand statements about how China was going to come begging to do a deal. And China's just maintained radio silence ever since. And
One
Trump
hand
is
clapping.
cracking already.
Yes, exactly.
Now Trump's going, well, we're going to get rid of the tariffs, obviously. I mean, we're not going to keep the tariffs. Tariff. It was just, it was a prank. It was a joke. It was April Fool's. Did anyone notice it was April 1st when I said that? It was like, it was a joke. Can't you take a fucking joke?
And China's going, what? Did you say something? I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
We weren't paying attention. We were too busy building hundreds of battleships for our Navy. And AI. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway.
Bohemond sent out an embassy composing of Peter the Hermit, who's still around.
Wow. Okay.
Remember, he did run away at one point, and then they brought him back. He ran off to Constantinople, and they brought him back. Yeah.
Yeah, get your ass back here.
And a Frank called Herluin, who spoke both Arabic and Persian. Interesting that Peter was sent, because he had tried to run away only 5 months earlier. And I'm trying to work out why you would send a guy who was that weak as your embassy. Might have been because he was the best known non-combatant with the army. Also, I think he might have just been highly disposable. Hey, we sent him to the enemy camp. They behead him.
Yeah.
Really?
Do us a favor.
Are we going to miss him? Yeah, I don't think so.
Less mouth to feed. So,
yeah.
I want to cut his head off, but I can't because I'm a Christian. Get them to do it.
Now, the fact that he agreed to go did do a lot to restore his sort of prestige in the camp, because it took a lot of courage to walk into an enemy camp like that.
Yeah.
We don't really know what he was empowered to offer, but they were basically trying to strike a deal.
Yeah.
Now, to me, that ruins the element of surprise here. If you say, listen, we're going to
Right.
attack you, but I tell you what, let's do a deal and we'll call the whole thing off, you're losing the
Yeah.
element of surprise. But
Exactly.
obviously, Bohemond thought he had an opportunity here to win without fighting, which is classic Sun Tzu art of the war. If you can win without fighting, you do it. It just makes sense, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And also test the resolve of your enemy. Is he going to say, yeah, let's talk? Or is he going to say, fuck you, meet me on the battlefield? Kerbogha said something like that. So Bohemond had the
Mm.
measure of the man.
Now, there are speeches attributed both to Peter and Kerbogha in
Good.
the histories, but most modern historians believe they're fictional. There is some suggestion that there may have been a suggestion of a series of single combats to decide the issue.
Oh,
You said
wow.
like Game of Thrones style. You send your
Like
best
Troy.
warrior, I'll send my
Yeah.
best warrior. Yeah,
Hell
they'll battle
yeah.
it out. Whoever wins. Yeah, they probably just should have had a chess game. Let's have a game of chess. Whoever wins, winner takes all. Game of strip jack naked, strip poker.
Don't get don't
Um,
get me wrong. Chess is exciting. I love it. It's exciting, but there's very little blood. Unless you play some way I don't. Not exactly going to rile the man. You know what I'm saying? So let's stick with the single combat, if you don't mind, please.
let's just flip a coin,
Ooh, that's
and
right.
whoever wins wins, and we all just go home.
Mm. And then George
But
Costanza goes 3 out of 5, the best 3 out of 5. Sorry, sorry.
Kerbogha wasn't having it. He demanded unconditional surrender.
Yes, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, and of course, Bohemian is like, well, look, I can't really bring this up, but see that's mine. I don't have the deed in my hand yet, but that's mine. There's no fucking way I'm gonna walk away from that. That's why I'm here. Meet me on the battlefield, bitch. So it's on like Donkey Kong.
There is some suggestion that Herluin, the guy that went with Peter, who spoke
Right.
Persian, may have acquired some useful information about the state of the affairs while he was in the camp. Maybe they didn't know he
Yeah.
spoke their languages, and so he was just
Ooh.
listening and gathering intel.
Right.
They're like, haha, well, they were speaking Arabic and Persian, and he
He picked up on it.
was just listening, and they didn't realize that he could
Right.
understand what they were saying behind Peter's back.
Nice.
Anyway, after the failure of the embassy, there was no alternative but to give battle. So early on Monday morning, the 28th of June, 1098,
Yeah.
was still here.
Yeah.
Bohemond drew up his troops and divided them into 6 armies.
Yeah.
200 men were left in the city to keep watch on the citadel, which Raymond was commanding from his sick bed. He was too
Yes.
loose. His
Yeah.
bowels
Too
were
loose.
too
And
loose at this point.
thank you. He didn't
You're
have pants
welcome.
on either, but everybody was okay with that. That's a different type of no pants situation. I'm just telling you right now. Yeah. But at least you could say he commanded during this battle because reputation is everything.
And it was his chaplain, the historian Raymond of Christina Aguilera, who was given the honor of carrying the Holy Lance into battle.
Oh, I got to get this tear. Please tell us
Now,
your what? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
before the Crusade, Raymond was just a lay canon, a deacon of the Cathedral of Lepoy, where
Right.
Bishop Adhemar was. He'd probably been part of the Bishop Adhemar's entourage, and at some point they actually, sort of make him a chaplain. He later wrote the Historia Francorum qui caporunt Jerusalem,
Nice.
his history of the Crusade. 7 manuscripts of it survive. 3 date from the 12th century, 2 from the 13th, and 1 each
Nice.
from the 14th and 15th.
Yeah. Just
Now,
hanging there until the printing press comes along. Go ahead.
this is the bit that just I love. Like,
Right.
just this fucking idea
Yeah.
that marching into battle holding a rusty piece of iron above your head is going
Right.
to grant the army miraculous powers
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
ensure them of victory is so many levels of batshit crazy that I don't even know where to
Yeah.
start. It's supposedly, we talked about this a couple of episodes ago, but it supposedly is holy because it was used to spear Jesus in the side. Therefore, it has
Right.
his blood on it, and because his blood is holy, it is now
Right.
holy. The fact that it was used to hasten his death or to make sure he was still dead
Doesn't matter.
um,
Doesn't.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Still good. It's
Yeah.
all good. Doesn't matter.
It's okay.
If you stabbed him like Julius Caesar 50 times,
Right. Yeah.
your knife would be
Super.
holy now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super
What
holy.
if I
Yeah.
what if I throw a rock and hit him and then I pick up that
Yeah.
rock? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Holy rock.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Go
and
ahead.
then the idea, it's not that just you have it,
Right.
it's that you have to carry it into
Oh, that's important.
battle.
So important. So
Like
so obviously
Jesus
important.
isn't
Yeah.
just going to assist your
Yeah.
victory because you've got it in a lockbox back in the thing. No, 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 no.
No, it's got to
You
be
need to
front and
carry it
center.
into
Yes.
battle with
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Like it's like holding up a cross in front of a vampire. Like it's got to be within a certain
Yeah.
distance. I think there's something in the fine print. It needs to be
Proximity.
within like
Yeah.
50 yards of the
Something.
enemy for it to actually work. It's like
Yeah.
radio waves. The further away it is from the location, the weaker the
Yeah.
signal gets.
Yeah.
It's
They
not
want in the
effective. You need
face.
to get in.
Ex-
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
got
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Look, Jesus is all powerful, but even if you're all powerful,
Yeah.
there's
50
still a
yards.
limit. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's 50. It's 51 yards. It's actually no. Most people don't know this. It's 51 yards in the power. Can I just make a personal observation? Jesus, and I
Please.
can't believe I'm saying this, is a better person than I am. Let me explain. If I saw an army, if I saw two armies, and one of the armies had a spear, and I'm like, hey, isn't that the spear that fucking stabbed me and finished me off? Fuck that army. I hope they die. I hope they, no, I wouldn't be like, oh, they're carrying that stabbed me. I'm going to bless them. That makes even less sense than everything else.
Oh my God.
I don't get this. I don't get this.
It
Who
it
put
is
that? Who
like
put this idea together? Yeah.
batshit crazy. Christians are batshit crazy.
Right.
Like the whole idea that this thing
Yeah.
is somehow going to confer miraculous powers on this army
Right.
is like the mental hurdles and loops that you need to go through to come to that conclusion
Desperation.
just boggle the mind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Yes.
that's what they believed. So they're all pumped up like Nazis on meth, and they march out across the fortified bridge. They come out of the
Exactly.
gate. Kerbogha's Arab commander, Khattab ibn Mahmud,
Yeah.
urged Kerbogha to attack at once, but
Let's get him.
Kerbogha feared that striking too soon, he would only destroy the advance guard, and if he waited, he
Yeah.
might be able to take out the whole force in one stroke. He doesn't really know how many guys they have, right?
Let's see what.
They've been behind big walls ever since he's been there. He's only making some guesses based, and he's got a little bit of intel, probably from some survivors of the earlier battles that got out of there, but he doesn't really
Yeah.
know how many they have, how many were killed in the earlier battle, the taking of Antioch. He's dealing with limited intelligence here. So
Absolutely.
he decides he's going to wait. But on the flip
Right.
side, he knows that he couldn't afford for the siege to go on much longer either. He's got his own problems
Yeah.
with defections
Yeah.
and political problems and that kind of stuff. So he's going to wait. However, when he
Right.
sees the full size of the army finally emerge, he's like, oh, shit.
Oh shit! Well, it's like the opening scene in the movie Spaceballs, where the big bad spacecraft flies overhead, and it just keeps going and going and going. So these guys are marching out from the gates, and he's like, "Okay, all right, a couple hundred. Okay, fuck, are they still coming now?" It's like, oh, so when they do finally come out, it's like, we What were we thinking? We can't do this. My own army's falling apart. They're carrying some big stick. What the fuck is that? They're all chanting or whatever. He was like, there's no way. There's no way we can win.
He's
I
like,
had a
oh
plan.
fuck, they've got the Holy Lance.
They
Oh
got the
shit,
Holy
no one told me
Lance.
that.
Yeah. I
I
can't
hadn't.
believe, and I'm recognizing it how God. I don't know. I'm gay for God. So anyways, but yeah. So he's
Like,
he's a little panicked.
I had a lot of different strategies that I wrote down when I was
Yeah.
playing for this,
But
but them being in position of the Holy Lance, I did not see
yeah,
that.
I
Speaking of
that wasn't on
Nazis,
my bingo card.
I did not
Exactly.
see that coming.
I did not. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Yeah. So the point is, he's like, if we can't kill him, and I really, really wanted to kill him.
But you know, the
Yeah.
personal hotspot, my you know, you have a name for your mobile phone. You can see it in the hotspots. The
Right.
name of my phone is actually Oh Hi Mark, and the password for my this is a tip for anyone who sees me around Brisbane. If you want to
Yeah.
log into my personal hotspot, the password for it is I did not.
I did
That's what you
not.
need to plug in to get in.
Is that is that 3 or 4 A's? I did not. I don't know.
It's
I don't want to. I don't want to know.
it's two with an H and a
Two.
T. N
Oh,
double A
good.
H T, I think. I did
Good.
not.
Yeah. So
Um yeah, he did not.
yeah, he did not. So he's like, he goes, maybe we should. Maybe I was hasty. Let's talk. So he sends a herald on. Kerbogha sends a herald on. But these are Franks. These are Christians. They don't want to talk. The time for talking is over. They want to kill for God. I'm gay for God. They want to kill for God. So they keep advancing. And Kerbogha's like, oh shit, we're doing this. We're fucking doing this. But fortunately for him, he does have established tactics and he's going to implement them now because he's got no fucking choice. This is on.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Why's he got to say it so many times? Anyway,
Uh,
I